What's up, guys? We're back, man. We're at the whiteboard. Today we're gonna cover nutrition. This is gonna be an all-encompassing video, man. We're gonna cover it all in this video. We're gonna cover how many calories you should be eating, how to figure that out. We're gonna figure out your macro breakdown, your proteins, carbs, fats, how many of each you should be eating. We're also gonna go over grocery list, man. What's a grocery? Like, what types of foods, right? It's not just if it fits your macros diet. What types of foods do we need to fill those calories with to get the most out of what we're doing and to try to essentially accomplish our goal the most efficient way possible. If you don't want to dick with any of this, right? Any of these numbers, figuring this out. And even after we figure all this out, there's still a period of trial and error, right? There's still a period of trial and error because we don't know exactly if this math is going to be 100% applicable to our bodies, right? It's all still an estimation. And there is a period of trial and error until you figure out exactly what lane you should be in as far as calories and all these breakdowns go. It takes time to figure out. If you want to bypass all this, I have you covered as well. Go to thedolcediet.com and you can sign up for their 12-week program where they are going to give you a 3-week shred phase where you're kind of recomping your body, right? You're getting rid of any unnecessary body fat. You're getting nice and lean. So we have a nice clean slate, clean canvas to work from. And then it goes into an 8-week phase of what should we be looking like day in, day out for the rest of our lives, right? Based off of, okay, I'm trying to gain muscle, I'm trying to lose fat, whatever it might be. If you're interested in that, thedolcediet.com. Use my promo code CROY, all one word, CROY. You get 20% off. You're welcome. This is what I did for a long time, man. This is exactly how I got started. Essentially, everything I know and I apply with myself through diet is the Dolce diet, right? So if you want to take all the guesswork out, you want to work with a registered dietitian, and the price is insane, man. Even already, it's so reasonably priced. On top of getting 20% off if you use my promo code. Insane deal. Like, it's a no-brainer. But still, if you want to figure it out yourself, you want to do it yourself, you want to be self-sufficient, you don't want to mess with that or you just can't afford it, maybe it's not in the budget right now, I still got you covered, so let's dive in. All right, so for our example today, we're going to use a 150-pound kid. Just the nature of more of the demographic that I work with. You know, I'm working with high school kids, mainly high school boys, trying to get stronger and gain weight. So a 150-pound kid is probably going to cover as many bases as possible of the people that are going to be watching this. So we have a 150-pound kid trying to gain weight and get stronger, right? So how do we figure this out? And I'm giving you these, there's all these types of equations, the Harris-Benedict equation, all these different things to find out your basal metabolic rate, to see how many calories you're burning, plus your total daily energy expenditure, plus, you know, your workouts on top of that, you know, whatever that might be. The easiest way that I figured this out, take your body weight, times it by 2, and then add a 0. So 150 times 2 is 300. We add a 0, 3,000. That's your starting point if you're trying to gain weight, right? Very simple. A lot of the other equations, usually it's 150, your body weight. Now for your basal metabolic rate, that if you're just gonna sit in bed for 24 hours, how many calories would we burn just existing, just living? You add a 0 to that. So that's 1,500, right? Then you gotta take into account, you probably add another, 400 to 500 on top of that for daily living, right? You're not just laying in bed all day. You're up, you're walking from class to class, you're walking to the bathroom, you're getting up, you're eating, you have to digest food, you know, whatever it might be, right? So that puts you at 2,000. Now you take into account, and now you're working out on top of that, right? Or you have baseball practice, you have all your practices, your workouts, things like that. You could add another 500 to 600 on top of that. That puts you at 2,500. That's just a break even, right? Because this is all stuff that we're burning already. So that's just a break even to maintain our body weight. We're trying to gain weight, remember? Well, we need to be in a caloric surplus, meaning we need to eat more than we are expending, which puts us, plus another 500, puts you at that 3,000 calorie mark, right? Instead of fucking with all that, boom, times it by 2, add a 0. Simple. If you're a really hard gainer, you could go for like your first goal weight and use that. So if my first goal weight was 200 pounds, times it by 2, that's 400, add a 0, 4,000. I should be shooting for 4,000 calories a day. Or in this instance, 150 pounds, we're trying to get to 160 first, right? So 160 times 2 is 320, add a 0, 3,200 calories. You know, so that's how that equation works. It's easy, it's simple, and like I said, all this is an estimation in the beginning, right? We don't know exactly what our body is doing. It's all a guessing game. It's all based on averages, what work for most people. So make this as simple as possible. Make this part as simple as possible. You don't have to go through all these crazy equations to figure this stuff out. Times it by 2, add a 0. Boom, there you go. So we know that our kid needs 3,000 calories a day. All right, that's where we're starting. Now, what makes up that 3,000 calories? That's our macros. We have our proteins, carbs, and fats, right? So protein, we want 1 gram per pound of body weight. He's 150, so that means a minimum of 150 grams of protein a day. Carbs, take your body weight, times it by 2. 150 times 2, 300 grams, right? And now we have fats. Now, the fats have to make up themselves, right? Because we already accounted for 2 out of the 3. So this is really easy to figure out. Protein, 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrate equals 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories, right? So if I have 150 grams of protein, times that by 4, 150 grams times 4 calories per gram, that gives you 600 calories. 300 grams of carbs, 4 calories per gram, times that by 4, that gives you 1,200 calories. So now we're at 1,800 calories total so far, and we still have to do fat, right? So 1,800 out of the 3,000 that we need, that leaves us, we need 1,200 more calories. So you do 1,200 divided by 9 equals 133 grams of fat, right? Carbs, you could bump this up. If you're an athlete, even the 2 times your body weight, you could even do more like 2 to 2.5 possibly. 2 to 2.5. You know, and if you bump this up to 2.5, that's 375 grams of carbs. Because those carbs, man, you're gonna be burning through those, man. As an athlete, you need those carbs. So this is it, man. This is how easy it is. But like I said, all this stuff is starting point, right? This is a starting point. This is a baseline. This is where we start. We run this for a few weeks. We see what happens to the scale. We see how we feel. Are we getting stronger? Are we gaining weight? If we're not gaining weight, then we know we are not eating enough calories. So it's time to add 250 to 300 calories on top of that, you know, possibly even 400. And when you add that, you run through this the same way. Now we're gonna run this for a couple weeks, and we try this out and we start gaining weight. We ride that, man, we ride that. And if we gain weight, you know, say after a month, now we're 155. Well, guess what? Now we need 155 grams of protein, right? And it just keeps evolving from there. We get to 160, guess what? You have to up your calories, you have to up your protein, you might have to start eating more carbs, because the diet that got you from 150 to 160 is not gonna be the diet that gets you from 160 to 180, right? So you have to constantly revisit this, man. Every few months, just revisit this and get a new direction, right? That's how you figure that out, guys. Super simple. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, what types of foods, right? So I'm gonna make this just as simple as I made all the other stuff. So we need good quality foods. We're not gonna grow from shitty food. We're not gonna grow from pizza, from Taco Bell, from McDonald's. We're not gonna grow from going and getting a Big Mac and from eating Doritos and all this bullshit and candies and trash. Can you have it? Sure. You can partake in it, but that should not be a daily occurrence. You're not gonna grow from that, man. It doesn't have the tools, resources, vitamins, minerals that our body needs in order to come back stronger and build itself up. So this is my easy, simple, muscle building grocery list right here. And guess what? The best part is this is pretty cheap as well, right? So, protein sources. Out of our protein, beef, eggs, salmon, chicken, turkey, whey protein. Simple enough. We'll just stick with that. Beef, that's your steak. Or, you know, it could be expensive. You get grass-fed, you know, sirloin, that can be expensive. Or you get ground beef. That's not expensive. So depending where you're at in that, you know, range and where your financial situation is, dictates where you go. Same thing with eggs. You want to get free-range organic eggs, they can be expensive. I buy eggs that are $8 a carton. Or you can go to Costco and get 2 dozen for $4. Like, eggs can be super cheap or they can be expensive. Depends where you go. Salmon, that's one where I won't budge. If you're gonna do salmon, it's gotta be wild caught, which it can be kind of expensive. So I go to Costco, get it in bulk. You get the most bang for your buck there. Chicken, you can get regular chicken from the grocery store or you can get free range organic chicken, same sort of thing. Quality, and same goes for turkey. You can get turkey breast, you can buy ground turkey. Doesn't matter. And then a whey protein, that's another thing. I like a nice quality whey protein. Transparent Labs, J-Rob, Biochem, those are my 3 favorite protein brands. So, depending where you're at financially, depends where on the spectrum, where the quality of each of these ingredients go, right? So you can dictate that. You can even oscillate, right? You can do a month where you're getting higher quality stuff and then back off for a month, save some money. So that way you're kind of getting the best of both worlds there. Carbs, fruit, all fruit, love it all. Rice, white rice, preferred. Jasmine or basmati. Potatoes, all kinds of potatoes, love them all. Some grains. I don't like to do a ton of grains. So I like to stick to Ezekiel bread, sprouted grain bread, whole wheat pastas, stuff like that. You know, that shouldn't be the norm. That should maybe like 10-15% of what you're eating carbs wise, right? These 3 right here should be the bulk of what you're eating in carbs. Lots of fruit, all fresh fruit, white rice, easy to digest, doesn't fill you up, you get a lot of calories, and it's super fucking cheap. Same thing with potatoes, man. Sweet potatoes and white potatoes, like them all, they're all great. Fats. Now, you're gonna get a lot of fat carried over from your protein sources. Eggs have a lot of fat. Beef has a lot of fat. Salmon has a lot of fat, right? So you're gonna get a lot of fats from those as well. But we also look at avocado. You have olive oil, healthy cooking oils, coconut oil. You have avocado oil. You got nuts. You got seeds. Hemp seeds, chia seeds, things like that. All really good sources of fat. Fish oil. You know, you're not gonna be taking a ton of that as a supplement. You shouldn't be taking a ton of that, but it's a good supplement to have, right? So these are good quality sources of fat, man. You can get into nut butters and stuff like that as well. But those are my big hitters, man. All that stuff is pretty cheap. Everything on this list is pretty cheap, and the best part, it's the highest quality stuff you can get, man. So it can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be based off of the quality and where you're kind of shooting for as far as, you know, organic, free range, all that different stuff. But these are the things that should make up 90+% of your diet, okay? And not skewing from that, going to fast food restaurants and all that stuff. That doesn't mean you can't do those things. If you want to enjoy your pizza every once in a while, that's great. But you shouldn't be relying on those things to make up the bulk of your diet, the bulk of your calories, because in the long run, it's not gonna present with the outcomes we're after. So that's it, man. That's C-Roy's simple grocery list, man. You can build a badass, strong, super resilient body, healthy body that feels good, performs great off of these foods right here on this board. And like I said, if you don't want to figure this out, if you don't want to worry about this, Dolce Diet, man. Go on the Dolce Diet, sign up for that 12-week program, use the promo code CROY, all one word, man. You get 20% off. It gives you a grocery list. It tells you exactly how to make all your meals. It figures all the math out for you, man, and you just got to follow it along, and it tastes phenomenal, man. The meals are amazing. The breakfast bowl that I tell everybody about that I eat every single morning, Mike Dolce's breakfast bowl. That's where I got it from, man. It's incredible. I hope that helps, guys. If you like this video, like it, share it, subscribe. If you have any questions on anything I covered, hit me up. I'm always here for you. Thanks for watching.